We're here in Sydney, Australia. It's life on Vaca down under.
Aussie land.
New South Wales. Sydney's the capital city. It's got over 100 beaches and it's got a very urban feel, as you can see behind us. We're on the rooftop of our accommodations here in a neighborhood called Mosman.
Yeah, and Mosman is a suburb of Sydney.
It's such a charming neighborhood, picturesque.
There's a lot of trails here that I really would love to explore. Each one of these neighborhoods has a connecting trail that allows you to see some incredible vistas off of the bank here, and some of what we see in the back here, and also some of the other landscape.
We like to go and get a base load of groceries, your coffee, eggs, sandwiches, fixins. We still like our bottled water. And so we normally do that at the beginning of our trip.
And we get a lot of things so we can make food for at least 4 or 5 days comfortably without running out of food. But here, it's a little different.
Yeah, we like to have our little nest, but the first time we showed up in Mosman in the village with our load of groceries, we
kind of overwhelmed not only the people, but the systems here. Had a little problem with our checkout baggage area, and of course we should know how to do all that now, but it seemed to be a little more stressful. That was a new store though, actually.
Well,
so we can blame them, right?
I don't know. Of course, it's all of the experiences we've had on Life on Vaca is a bring your own bag situation. So Americans, we got to get on that. I'm here at the Metro Market getting some tomatoes in this area that's in between. It's divided into the fresh stuff and the meat and other pantry items. So I got some vine-ripe tomatoes. Never want to get too much stuff because they don't know what to do with people who shop for more than 1 or 2 days. On any run to the village, we could take a bus right here. There's a bus stop across from the condo, but we usually choose to walk, and that's about 1.3 miles, slightly uphill, about 150 feet elevation, and then of course, when we have all those groceries and supplies coming downhill, that's a little better.
It's so easy to get your exercise in.
Everybody on the left side of the road, it says look on the sidewalk because they do not stop for pedestrians. The cars have the right of way. So they have these things, little Walkman, it makes that noise when it's time to walk. We've been all over these stores, the pharmacy here to the left. We've used that. We've looked a lot at the bakeries. And of course, we've been riding these buses all over town. And I do mean all over town. Kirk has such good fitness. He's skilled in lifting and carrying weights. If you didn't have someone strong enough, I mean, we are in our 60s, you could have things delivered. There's an Uber Eats that'll come to your door. They say the delivery fee's about $4.
That's Mr. Mosman.
And of course, some tips. Oh, look at the flower shop. So nice. Hydrangeas, poinsettias. Oh, there's some bright ones. Right here at the corner of Military and Raglan is where the decision has to be made. Do we march on foot? Or do we catch the bus for a 5-minute ride? Although it's 1 mile downhill. What will we decide? Looks like we've decided to walk it.
Sure, we need some exercise. We haven't done a whole lot today, but eat.
Well,
Not really.
says the man that does 300 push-ups a day. I
Ooh,
think we've
ooh.
done plenty.
It's a bit of an exaggeration by 150.
Look at those guns. He can make it. And he'll probably be doing some bicep curl with the bags, with the grocery bags.
Nah, these are not heavy enough. These won't do anything.
This will give you a chance to see how beautiful the neighborhood is and this walk. I'm nowhere near as graceful. So look at those coleus. Wow. They've really gotten spectacular. Looks like they put some reinforcement signage here. Stop and look this way. Because like I said, pedestrians do not have the right of way. Here's the mailboxes. Notice they say, no junk mail. No junk mail. Good luck with that. There was a report this week that the post is only going to deliver letters every other day now to try to save some money and save some jobs. So the government agency is finding ways to reduce the mail, and they were reporting on that. As far as the no junk mail signs handwritten on the mailbox, well, I don't know how that works out. Oh, it's busy. We're right here in rush hour.
You have to be careful here at this roundabout. The pedestrians do not have the right of way. I've almost been killed 3 times trying to cross it.
Good to know about Sydney. Pedestrians are not favored.
Unless they wave you on.
There's a nice one.
But they could kill you too.
Look how nice he is. I tell you, regarding that, the folks here in Sydney haven't been overly friendly. Now, if you speak to them, they'll speak back, but they're not going out of their way to make you feel at home. Not sure what that's about, but
the Southern charm hadn't gotten this far.
the one person that was so lovely wound up being American from Boston, one of the waitresses down at Bondi Beach. I immediately said, American? Look at this home over here on the left. Kind of like a southern plantation style. Big columns. Kind of neat looking.
Hello.
There's a couple of little sweet school children walking down the sidewalk by themselves. Happy-go-lucky, unsupervised. See that all over Mosman, all over Sydney. Kids, pretty young kids, just walking around, going from one place to the next without a care in the world. Love those roof lines. Love the bark on that tree. Love that man right there carrying the groceries. Talk about bringing home the bacon. Oh, man. I love this house. I don't think I'll tell her. Very smart looking. There's two of them. Very, very similar. Probably by the same builder. Love it! And the man. Love him too. There's a bay over there. There's a bay right there. Some construction in the neighborhood. All nice garden districts and historic places have to have their construction. Renewal. Coming to the corner. That's the Taronga Zoo over there. There's actually trails that run all along here. I'm not too familiar with them, but I know there are. Kirk knows them a lot more than I do. It does make it nicer to exercise in a new place, where everywhere you look, it's new, fresh scenery. Really something beautiful. Okay, here's our street coming up. Musgrave Street. And the Ferry Road. Taking a right and wow. Look at that. The bridge. The Sydney Harbor Bridge, just right there. Incredible palm tree. Reminds me of home. Little balcony. Charming. Charming. Alleyways. Alleyways. Like that. Alleys. Charming alleys. The bridge. The skyscrapers in the distance across the harbor.
Look, Bay, those doors are very similar to the ones that we had in Stanford's house.
One of our
Those
homes had
French
those
door
doors,
designs.
those French door designs, the transoms like that. We know because we scraped them to the bone and redid them. It took us 3 years to redo that house. And, you know, the rubbish bin. That's what they call it here. They don't call it trash bins, they call it rubbish. They do separate the plastics and the recyclables from the rubbish. That's our apartment.
There's hills and steps and stairs, and the lay of the land changes all the time. So it's easy to get in some exercise and get all your steps in every day.
Look, it's the bus stop right across from the
Apartment. So then we're going to take this to the town.
And how we're going to get on the bus is we're each going to get out our Visa cards and we're going to just swipe it. We can just tap it on the thing when you enter and tap it when you exit. and it automatically charges and converts all the currency from Australian to USD. But you have to remember when you swipe on and to swipe off, or it'll just continue the meter running. There's no way you could calculate how much money to spend on transportation, but we suspect that it equals to renting a car. Right on time. So we've gotten on the bus across from the condo, and we're going exploring, looking for a lunch spot. We're going to try to check out Chowder Bay.
So what you in the mood for today?
I like a little Mediterranean.
So we've researched some restaurants there. We'll see if we can try to find one that has that kind of flair, right?
That's right. I love the Mediterranean food here in Sydney. Oh, it's pretty good. Here we are at Chowder Bay, and we're looking at this really hard at Le Heritage, which is a French restaurant, although I'm not sure what the French influence is in Australia, but we'll check it out.
And we're looking for something with a view, so let's see what we can find.
We're settled on Ripples. This is our beautiful view of the Chowder Bay Harbor, and we found this little space, and it's nestled here with a lot of folks on a weekday that are working, and looks like some tourists like us, maybe one or two others. But as you can see, this is our beautiful view. It's approaching Christmas, and the days are getting average about 85 degrees, but then at night it goes into the low 70s, if not high 60s, and there seems to always be a little breeze here where we are.
The weather so far has been glorious. It's always a cool breeze, even though it gets hot on the beach, and it gets hot on the beach very quickly, but the wind really allows you to get cool in so many different ways.
We're here at Balmoral Beach in Sydney, Australia. It's in the suburb of Mosman, and that's where we've been living for a couple of weeks here in Australia. And this is called the Harbour Beach. And Sydney's known for its surfing beaches, of course, you've probably heard of that, but a harbour beach is a protected alcove, and this one's really the crown jewel of Sydney.
Yeah, it's a very family-friendly beach, and there's lots of activities going on today, and all the locals are out enjoying this wonderful beach. The waters are pretty calm since it's an inlet, and there's no heavy waves or big waves, so that little babies and kids can enjoy the surf here. There's lots of sand next to the beach and the water, and it's a really kind of a beautiful thing for this location.
It's almost like a neighborhood beach. There's some local restaurants and even a bathhouse that's been here since the 1920s. And the ferry doesn't actually come into this alcove, so it was a little complicated getting here, but it was we decided to walk from our place, which is a little more north. That was about a 40-minute walk, but it was nice.
It was, and the flowers were in bloom, and all the gardens were trimmed up and beautifully manicured.
They are expecting it to get really hot, and this nice cool breeze we're enjoying is gonna be a hot desert breeze. But until then, everybody's out and about, exercising, people of every age enjoying the weather and the scenery and the nice promenade. As a matter of fact, this area is called the Esplanade, and of course we like that word.
There's lots of services around this beach as well. There's also lots of commerce and restaurants and different eateries that you can enjoy if you're at this beach.
There's a jungle float out in the water. The high schoolers are really enjoying that. It's late in the afternoon, and the sun won't set till about 8 p.m. And so this is just prime time for getting your little walk in and visiting with family, doing your jog. There's people doing yoga, and of course there's seabirds everywhere.
And true to the Australian mantra, there's lots of exercisers here. There's a large promenade here next to the beach with this wonderful wall that protects the promenade from the beach, and people are enjoying this. There's lots of walkers of all ages and lots of exercisers people exercising and running around here. And it's surely beloved by all in this area, I swear.
In the literature, in the condo, it's featured as the #1 thing to do. So that's why we're here.
So what did I hear about the fish and chips?
Oh yeah, that establishment called Bottom of the Harbor. It's got the best fish and chips in Australia, and I'm hoping that's true, and the line is getting long, but we'll let you know. You know how I love my fish restaurants.
But before that, I'm gonna go explore those rocks over there in that grassy knoll. I think there's some very interesting topographical features over there that I think I see a cave.
So here we are at bottom of the harbor and the much awaited fish and chips, supposedly the best in Australia. Let's take a look, see what we've got. Oh, a piece of fish, looks like a fillet. And I'm gonna use my lemon. This is all a la carte. I got the tartar sauce. Kirk got the sweet chili sauce. And I'm going to give it a try and let you know. It really reminds me of my grandmother's fried fish, my grandmother's batter. It was homemade, and that's what I compare it all to. Very nice.
There's lots of greenery here with shade, and you know, that makes it really kind of hard to get into the Christmas spirit, I think.
Oh, well, the Christmas spirit's in your heart. We just painted a Christmas tree. That was one of our art projects we did with our grandson last weekend. And you know what? It's going to pick up pretty well.
Yeah, and I think you're right about it being in our heart. You know, we do miss our family and our friends back home, but they're in our hearts and they're in our thoughts, and we're with them.
And so this will be the first Christmas that we haven't been in Louisiana in 60-something years. Communities are neighborhoods and people are much the same, and in that way it makes the world seem small. You still have your daily life, you still have your coffee making and grocery shopping and mailing gifts and sending cards and that kind of thing.
So life, as always, is what you make of it, and life on Vaca can be wherever your mindset is. And so the Sydney mindset of life on Vaca is pretty awesome.
If you're considering traveling the world slowly, look us up.